should be in this. Okay. Yeah, pull up this. All right, welcome to the Wrestling Pod. I'm your host, Carlito Santiago, and of course, your co-host, Luis Santiago. Luis, how you been? I'm gonna grab a pair of scissors and cut your fucking balls off if you keep on doing that through the stream. You're gay. Anyway. Well, SmackDown, following, of course, a Saturday Night Main Event where Cody Rhodes made his return, of course, since losing to John Cena at WrestleMania 41, addresses his future. We also got 2 more Money in the Bank qualifying matches, of course, the men's being Andrade, Carmelo Hayes, and, of course, Jacob Fatu, while the women's have Jade Cargill, Naomi, and Nia Jax. We were also in Knoxville, Tennessee for this one. So, they did a recap of what went down on Saturday Night Main Event, but as we went into the arena, Bianca Belair came out for a bit of a homecoming celebration in her hometown. She said she's still injured, but wanted to remind everyone that she is still the EST of the WWE. Naomi came out to a lot of boos, as she should, and said she is glad to see Bianca back on SmackDown. Naomi said all she wants is Bianca's forgiveness. She got a little emotional, saying that she just wants to fix what happened. Then she revealed that she broke into Bianca's parents' home and looked through her photos. I did not know that. I did not know all of that. She broke into Bianca's parents' home and looked through her photos. Don't think she found anything. Naomi threatened Bianca, which led to Cargill's music playing, and her march to the ring. She and Naomi immediately started brawling, which this led into our women's Money in the Bank qualifying match, which also included Jax. We returned from the break to see the match already in progress, and nobody was able to keep the upper hand for too long until Jax overpowered both of them. So they fought through another break into the next segment. So the first half of the show was dedicated to Bianca's promo in this bout. The EST's promo segment was very good to kick off the show in our hometown of Knoxville. It also made sense to flow into the Money in the Bank qualifying match that way, and they would also do somewhat of the same in the men's. This bout itself was relatively uneventful and had a couple of fun spots. In the end, though, Naomi rolled up Nia Jax using the crucifix roll-up to earn her spot in the Money in the Bank match. Now, Lewis, I don't know if you heard me say, but in this line, fucking Naomi reveals that she broke into Bianca's house, or parents' home. She broke into Bianca's parents' home and looked through her photos. Is it me you're looking for? And one word. Yeet. So, as you guys can see on the screen here, of course, Naomi has punched her ticket, and of course you can see the men's. And of course, the men's on Raw will also be there. It will be AJ, Punk, and Styles. And for the women's, Vikir, Morgan, and Ivy Nile. So hopefully there's a lot going down. But Naomi scored the win here. What came next, though, in this was R-Truth and Jeff Cobb. Truth had a brief encounter backstage with Solo, Jacob, and Jeff Cobb that led to Truth challenging Cobb to a match. Solo, if you didn't see the clip of them backstage, Solo is trying so hard, fighting his demons, to not laugh, to stay in character. You can really see it on his face. R-Truth is that fucking hilarious. Solo accompanied Cobb to the ring, but Fatu was nowhere to be seen. I wonder. Maybe he's preparing for his triple threat match. Cobb scooped up Truth and put him into the corner for some shoulder thrusts to get the match started. Truth got in a few moves before, of course, Cobb finished him off with the Tour of the Islands for the win. This was short and little more than glorified squash. Jimmy Uso did show up with a chair and ended up getting taken out by Cobb, which upset Solo because he wants Jimmy back in the fold. So Solo's trying to get Jimmy back into being on the good side, or being on the bad side, and Jeff Cobb's just over here fucking, like, tossing people around. This was a C-. Not to mention, of course, Chelsea Green wearing a rainbow mask for her broken nose, which, of course, that is for Pride Month. Solo also having trouble not laughing when Truth asked if Cobb was his husky son. That's where he got that. That was the backstage segment, calling him husky son. Truth is too fucking much, man. The man never ages. Like, he's got, Jesus fucking Christ. I know, right? Like, he looks like he's basically like our age. Almost. But he's fucking 50. Or even past 50. Jesus, fuck. I don't know. Anyway, we got some tag team action. Montez Ford and Angelo Dawkins came out to the ring to cut a quick promo, which led, of course, to charge for the SmackDown Tag Team Division to make their way to the ring, too. So, we brought out Nathan Frazier and Axiom, or Fraxium, with their fucking Disney XD theme song. You then got the Motor City Machine Guns. Lewis, if you don't mind doing the... Lewis, if you don't mind doing the Motor City, you know... Okay, I guess Lewis is in his own world. So did Johnny Gargano and Ciampa showing up. The Wyatt Six arrived and took out everyone in the ring. After a break, one of the only tag teams that didn't get taken out was the Wyatts. Was in action when Angel and Berto took on Evans and Rey Fenix. All of these men will be at Worlds Collide, so the announcers were hyping up the event. Of course, Phoenix and Angel started with an exchange of strikes, but quickly picked up the pace to incorporate some fast-paced action. Berto and Evans, because Javon Evans, if you guys don't know what I'm talking about, Javon Evans got called up to NXT to be paired up with Rey Fenix for this match. So, this was a fun, high-flying encounter. Angel, Berto, Phoenix were all great, but Evans may have made the biggest impact on his first match on the main roster. Anyone who doesn't watch NXT probably came away from this impressed with the young OG. But how it ended, well, Ethan Page ended up interfering while the referee was distracted 2 different times to cost Phoenix and Evans the match. Lewis, how do you feel about Javon Evans being on the main roster? Yeah. Yeah, right? Yeah, so... Yeah, so... Yes, he did. But first, Zelina Vega and Alba Fire. Oh, I was going to say, well, Zelina Vega and Alba Fire had a match. Non-title, though. Greens and Piper Nivens were at ringside. Fire was aggressive out of the gates and took control for a few moments, but a head scissor takedown turned it around. So, Vega and Fire in a position, Vega had Fire in a position for a 619, but was tripped by Nivens while Green distracted the ref. We returned from a break to see the Women's United States Champion begin to make a comeback. While this match didn't have any notable bad moments, it also didn't have anything that felt spontaneous or surprising. Just about every move and story beat could be predicted as the match progressed because they followed such a familiar pattern. After Green almost made her nose injury a little bit more worse, Vega hit the Code Red on Fire to get the victory. Now, if this does not remind you of any storyline, well, I'm here to tell you that Vega and Green's story feels a little bit similar to Cody Rhodes and Rey Mysterio back in what? Was it 2011? Early 2011? Yeah. The reason I compare this is because the two are almost similar, just a bit different. Rey Mysterio never botched. Yes, they did. And it's crazy because I remember that story. The story there was because it was basically Cody Rhodes getting his nose broken. So Rey never botched the 619 on Cody. Vega did, though. But on Green. So, which led to, of course, the mask. Now, Chelsea was also seen backstage holding up a stick with her face, of course, on it, like you hold up a face as she's talking. So this could be their signature of like a paper bag, in some sorts, right? But again, I don't know what the end game is here. I don't know if it's Chelsea Green getting her title back, or it's just Vega holding on to this until somebody's going to defeat her eventually. Something. This was great, a B-, but again, I don't know what the end game is for Vega here. I don't. Next was our men's triple threat Money in the Bank match. Jacob Fatu, Andrade, and Carmelo Hayes. Damian Priest, though, came out after commercial break to talk about beating McIntyre and moving on. And by moving on, he means on to Jacob Fatu, and said he is proud of what he has accomplished, but he doesn't respect who he hangs out with. As he's leaving, Fatu comes out. Fatu comes back, of course, comes out. Fatu comes out for his Money in the Bank match with Carmelo Hayes and Andrade. The Miz also accompanies Hayes to the ring, even though they appear to have some friction backstage. This is also why I wanted Carmelo to win the briefcase, so Miz can easily kind of sneak his way of getting another briefcase, right, like he's done before. He did one by winning it, he did one by legal action, and now he can do this one where he feuds with Carmelo, and Carmelo can be a babyface. Money in the Bank briefcase holder. They ain't gonna do that. So, Fatu and Andrade took out Melo before trading some offense. Even though all three men got in some moves, Fatu definitely felt like the most dominant. We have seen Melo and El Idolo tear the house down several times, and Fatu's ability is no secret. So these three managed to put on the best match of the night by a pretty wide margin. Fatu was playing to the crowd quite a bit, as he felt like more of a babyface here than he has in any previous match. Fatu took himself out of the several minutes by crashing through the barricade, so Melo and Andrade were free to reignite their feud. Sikoa and Jeff Cobb came down once Fatu was back in the fight. Jimmy showed up and took out Cobb. During the Mayhem, Andrade was able to pin Melo, and Fatu clearly blamed Solo for his loss. And see, this is the type of shit I'm talking about with how Fatu's going to lose his title. These little type of shenanigans with having fucking Solo and fucking Jeff Cobb coming out to try to help him is what's going to lose the title for 2. I don't know who it's going to be. It could be Priest, because remember Priest talked about moving on and being the IC champion. But Priest also is that type of person who might get booed, because he might got to go into that villainous role. So, because they got to kind of switch him up. Why not? Who? Jimmy is a good possibility. I mean, right now, Jay is holding the world title. Might as well give Jimmy a title to kind of feel, kind of balance them out as the Usos. Julia got a nice. Yes, it's crazy because I was about to mention that too. I was about to just mention that. The comparison to Uso holding the World Championship and Jimmy holding mid-card title at the U.S. is so comparable to Jeff holding the WWE Championship and Matt holding the ECW Championship. Yes. And now, of course, the final segment, of course, was a face-to-face. The final segment of this week's show featured Rhodes, Cena meeting face-to-face, but before Cena came out, Cody had a little time with the crowd. Rhodes brought out Jey Uso, which sent us into the final commercial break of the night. When we returned, Cena came out and ripped into both men for wanting to be like him. Cena brought out Logan Paul and put him over on the mic. After a bunch of trash talk, Cena and Paul looked like they were going to have a disagreement before it broke down into a huge brawl for all 4 men. The babyfaces beat up the heels to send the crowd home happy. This was definitely longer than it needed to be, but it was fine for what it was. LA Knight making fun of the announcers overusing the phrase punching their ticket was great. Now also teasing tensions between Cena and Paul means one of them will probably leave the other high and dry during the tag team match. Probably Cena, thinking that Cena is fucking, because Cena want nothing to do with this. Because Cena is literally that type of person who would want nothing to do with this, following his fucking character. He's like, I'm champion, I'll fucking leave. And Logan Paul will eat another super kick, and a crossroads, and a pinfall. I'm not mad at that, it's just the fact that, well, watch him walk out, there's a video clip. If you don't, what's funny? I don't know if remember Cena holding the champion, walking into Philadelphia, holding the championship up, walking through that Philadelphia crowd when he faced Rob Van Dam in a one night stand? It was in the Manhattan Center? I thought. Oh. Was it in New York? Well, yeah, New York? Yeah, okay, my mistake. Didn't Cena walk... Didn't he raise the championship, though, and walk into the... Yeah, I can see Cena doing... Cena is wearing it backwards and walking out. Cena should hold the title up and walk out. Right? Backwards. Walk it, hold it backwards. Obviously strap, wherever Cena's facing, the strap's facing. And fucking title's facing back, and Cena just walks out. Walks out on Paul. Should just walk out completely. Because, again, Cena don't want fucking nothing to do with this. Exactly. So this was great to see. You would think, and then people are already making fun of this. You have the original, which was Seth Rollins, Cody, Roman, and The Rock. And then somebody wrote underneath, it said Timu, and it showed Cena, Logan Paul, Jey Uso, and Cody. Kind of is. Kind of. Yup. Jey Uso would be like Seth Rollins. Cena would have been like The Rock, and yeah. No, Jay is not the Roman. No, everybody's playing this. So Jay, it's copied and paste. So Cody plays Cody. But yes, Logan would be Roman, Cena would be Rock, and Jay would be Seth. No, I know Roman's not a fucking Seth. Friday Night SmackDown was somewhat lackluster. It was somewhat lackluster, but this was more of a filler. This was so filler. For the last episode before my predictions for Money in the Bank, this is what you give us. I felt that this was I do agree with this. This was somewhat lackluster. It was basically filler. And if you don't believe me, I'll tell you. You had this match be the last match before the face-to-face. This filler, all right? This little tag team match between fucking Javon Evans and Los Garza, filler, okay? You want fucking R-Truth and fucking Jeff Cobb, filler. All of this is fucking filler. Why? And then your tag team division, you do a quick little segment and you give us last week's fucking run back. You give us the tag team division being scared of the Wyatt Six. Why? I don't get it. I don't fucking get it. And it was lackluster as a whole. But it had one standout match, and that standout match was literally the Money in the Bank qualifying. Say what? This was all over the place. The mess match was easily the triple threat match, like I've said. They had plenty of time to work and made it the most interesting thing we saw all night. Andrade and Naomi won spots in the men's and women's Money in the Bank, respectively. So we can see our vision board right here now, if you guys can see. The commentator, of course, all the competitors now for Money in the Bank. And then, of course, we'll find out who the last one is on Raw. I just think that based on the things here, I think it will be, in my honest opinion, I think that it will be... No. I think that Stephanie Vakir punches her ticket in for the women's on Raw. And to that, I think that AJ Styles punches his ticket as well. I think AJ Styles punches his ticket to Money in the Bank. I don't think Punk wins it. Hopefully I'm wrong. All I know is that my predictions are pretty easy. If this is the setup, I think that my predictions are pretty easy. The men's may look like it's unpredictable. I'm going to tell you it looks pretty predictable to me. But to continue forth, the biggest development might have been the growing friction between Solo and Fatu reaching a boiling point. It looks like Fatu's patience has run out, so one more incident will likely be the last straw. Of course, if this is the case, that means that Damian Priest will be the person to defeat Jacob Fatu for the United States title, so Damian Priest will get another United States Championship run. And then at SummerSlam, you'll get Fatu and Solo going at it, which everybody will be happy for. Evans and Phoenix, Los Garzas, that was a close second for match of the night. The show ended with Cena, Paul, Rhodes, and Uso hyping their Money in the Bank tag team match in a promo segment that felt too long, but needed to get the point across because that's what a promo needs to be. All right, when you have conversations with people, there are people who will beat around the bush. You want straight to the point, people. When you come in first promo, when you cut a promo on Raw and it's the first fucking promo of the night, hey, straight to the point. I want to be honest with you guys. Right? Welcome to Monday Night Raw. But guess what? I got something to get off my chest. First thing got off my chest. A, B, C. You know what I mean? Like, straight out there before anybody interrupts you or cuts you off. Because you know that's going to happen. That isn't going to fucking stop. So, you wouldn't miss much if you skipped this week's show, honestly. I mean, I couldn't watch it because we got no cable. So, but it had a couple of bright spots. I watched some of the clips. Not all of the matches were bad. Just the way they were placed and the way that WWE decided to put matches in certain spots, like I brought up. R-Truth and Jeff Cobb. The tag team match with Javon Evans coming up. I thought that was a nice little addition, but why is it there? Why aren't you putting, like, I don't know, last week we had the Wyatt Six fucking up here. Why didn't we have a tag team match where the Wyatt Six just destroys everybody again? And then you have Wyatt Six destroy other tag teams. Like, they come out, get destroyed. They come out, get destroyed. It's something new. It's not the same shit where everybody's in the ring and Y6 just fucking... Alexa Bliss has nothing to do with the Y6 right now. Yeah, or does she? That's a good question. Leave your thoughts of that in the comments down below. But, Lewis, what did you think of Monday? What did you think of SmackDown? Because SmackDown overall grade was a B-. I think that this show deserves a C+ at best. But I would stick with a B- just because of... Yeah. A lot of people would. Yes. One of the problems, too... But Triple H is behind both shows doing... Well, Triple H is behind both shows doing double duty, so he's having to write for Raw and for SmackDown. The best plan out for when you and me were doing the Universe mode in 2Ks was, you know, I'd write out my shit for SmackDown, and then you'd have your shit, like, right out of thin air for Raw. So I had time to prep, you know. But, again, this kind of almost the same problem that was had about 20 years ago. This was the same kind of problem. You put all your good superstars, or all the people you want, all the writing, all the fucking talent, all the production crews on the A show, because that's what's going to probably be viewed more, right? And then you put whatever's left on the SmackDown show. And as you've seen, Raw, back in the day, like 20 years ago, had the greatest writers. They had the superstars that they could turn into stars. And then on SmackDown, whatever was left. SmackDown had the star power, they just didn't know where to fucking put them. They didn't know what storylines to come up with, because they didn't have the best writers. All they had was story arcs. For instance, and I know you're going to laugh when I tell you this, Carlito, John Cena, nightclub incident. Hey, that motherfucker wasn't cool. You gotta say it like Theodore Lon said it. John Cena was stabbed in a nightclub, and I'm gonna get down to the bottom of this, and I'm gonna figure it out. Holla holla for $1. It was Jesus all along. Oh, yeah, yo. He should have, but he didn't. John Cena new theme song gotta be "I'm a bad, bad man." Oh, I thought I turned the light on too. Damn, I didn't have this light on the entire time. What the fuck? There we go. There's a blue light officially coming on now. Well, that's been the SmackDown review. I'll check you out again. This is all the men's for prop. This might just guess. AJ is not confirmed, so let me actually put a star. Fucking for all those. Star means that not confirmed. No, Raw. Well, no, it's a confirmation. It's a confirmation of fucking of like who's in the match, who the official men's and women's Money in the Bank is. So star equals not confirmed, just so all of you know. So that means, yeah, it's not confirmed. I just put down who I think will win it. I think Stephanie Bakir will win that triple threat match for the women's, and I think AJ will beat El Grande and Punk. Because again, El Grande's not fucking winning it because he needs to be able to screw Penta. I could give you a lineup. Literally, WWE can't really block me for this. I'm gonna tell you what I think about Money in the Bank right now. All right, and honestly, the same prediction. I'll even break it down next week for my predictions, but I think it's pretty simple when you break down this whole lineup of who wins it. Honestly, there's probably going to be a spot where Solo's crew, Jacob and fucking Jeff Cobb, have a standoff with Braun Breaker and Bronson Reed, and Penta or Andrade's jumping off of a fucking ladder and letting them all fall on top of each other. El Grande will screw Penta, probably, in that match, too. So that's why he's not winning against AJ or Punk. And it's funny, too, because AJ and Punk haven't faced each other since fucking, what? Was it 2004? Or was it ROH? Yeah, since ROH. Punk and AJ have not faced each other. Yeah, they were there. Well, no, they were. They were at some point. At some point, they had to have been. Hold on. You know what? Since we still here on the stream, I'm gonna look it up. We're gonna do some research, guys. Pull this out. Punk and Legend meet for the first time in 20 years. Let's see. Was it 05? Alright. Punk will be in action with an upcoming edition of Monday Night Raw where he'll go up against AJ Styles and El Grande Americano. Styles and Punk last clashed in a match 20 years ago on October 23rd, 2004 in IWA Mid-South. Yes, this was a singles match, and this was, of course, the IWA Mid-South 8th anniversary show. Dreams do come true. Card with guide. But yeah. Yo, you're gonna be surprised when I tell you the name. You're gonna be surprised when I tell you the names of the fucking card here. Fucking. So, commentary for this was by Dave Prazak, CM Punk, Eddie Kingston, Delirious, and Carmine Desperado. This was in Highland, Indiana. They had Trick Davis versus Chandler McClare. Yeah, Davey Andrews and Mike Waldis. Chris Sabian and Matt Sydal. That might have been a fucking good match. Guarantee that was a good match. Mercedes Martinez and Mickey Knuckles. Dusty Rhodes and Ian Rotten took on the Dream Team. Steve Stone and Chris Candino. Yeah, Chris Candido. Yes, Ian Rotten was teamed up with the American Dream, Dusty Rhodes. Jimmy Jacobs took on JC Bailey. Fucking Ryan Boys with Brad Bradley and Carmine Desperado versus Abyss. Claudio Castagnoli took on fucking Chad Collier. The wild cards, Eddie Kingston and Jack Marcerino took on B-Boy and Homicide. Right? Danny Daniels. There was another tag team match there, but I don't think you'll know any of the names of them. But there was Danny Daniels and BJ Winmers. And then, of course, there was a 6-man tag team match. Check this out. The tag team match. I didn't think you know any of their names. Anthony Franco and Evan Starsmore versus Matt Turner and Shane Hagendorn. Which one? Anthony Franco? Nah, he was he began his career in 2004, ended it in 2008. So, but the 6-man tag team match. Check this out. Ace Steel, Nate Webb, and Samoa Joe took on Generation Next. The tag team was Austin Aries and Roderick Strong. They teamed up with Nigel McGuinness. Bro, that's a good 6-man tag team match. Generation Next. Austin Aries and Roderick Strong. Roddy Strong. Dusty Rhodes, was that? Yeah, that was Dusty Rhodes. Okay. Dusty Rhodes, like, actually. Yeah. That was their 8th anniversary show, Dreams Do Come True, with AJ and Punk fighting for the world. That is crazy, though. Fuck. 20 years and you don't fucking fight? Damn. No, he did not. Anyway, we will be back. I will be back next week. I will be back next week to do the Raw review. You'll also get the predictions on Thursday. SmackDown summary next week. And then, of course, the Money in the Bank review next Sunday. I hope you guys have a great weekend and you're ready for Money in the Bank like we are. So, again, hit that subscribe button, drop a like, leave your comments down below, and turn on those post notifications so you never miss a stream like this again. Lewis, I know you got one more thing to say.